The following program is sponsored by Capitec. Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Insider SA, your guide to living better. Join us today as we open up to rewards and recognition with wellness success story Lisa Raleigh, getting us off our laptops and bouncing back to fitness. Fresh produce entrepreneur Uzzair Essack makes the 30 under 30 list, boosting local jobs by creating new world markets. Videographer Ricardo Joao de Lesa's most demanding client, content creator Angelique Fredericks, becomes the love of his life. Trailblazer of bridal fashion Diaan Daniels reinvents his career to now finding you your fantasy home. And the Gauteng lightweight boxing champion at just 19, Kaine Fourie, proves that if you're good enough, you're old enough. This is the house that Lisa Raleigh's wellness career helped build. Self-reward for a self-starter who began her personal training journey straight out of high school, took bouncing fitness mainstream, and never looked back.
I've been in this industry, the wellness industry, for a very long time, 20 years. I'm passionate about all things wellness and health related, and kind of my mission in life is really to show people that there's another way, that you can live a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't have to be so onerous, it doesn't have to be so expensive. It can be sustainable, it can be fun, and I love to educate and teach people how to fish when it comes to all things health and wellness. I'm definitely part of the 5 a.m. club. I love to get up early. I find I'm most productive first thing in the morning. While everyone else is sleeping, I am planning and organizing my whole day. Every day is a little different, and I must say that's what keeps me on my toes. It keeps me engaged and interested in my business. I never get bored because every day is slightly different. There's some things that are always the same, like early starts and early to bed, but the rest of the day can be a smorgasbord of all things. It's busy. So this is Jill, everyone. Jill is our in-house chef cook. She's amazing. She has been with us for a very long time, and I have empowered her and taught her how to make our daily juice. So Steph, my hubby, and I, this is how we kind of start our day from a nutritional point of view. Lots and lots of vegetables before 9 a.m. in the morning, but to eat them wouldn't be great, so we actually juice them, pop them into a masticating slow juicer, and lots of colors, lots of fiber, lots of antioxidants and vitamins. And before 9 o'clock in the morning, I've had like half my daily dose requirement of veggies and some fruit. Voila, look at that. That is how I start my day every day. I wait about 30 minutes and then I have a nice high protein breakfast because I'd love to keep my energy sustained throughout the course of the day. For me, the perfect high protein breakfast is a quick and easy 2-egg omelette. I add some cheese, combination of mozzarella, cheddar maybe, some tomato, maybe a little bit of chili. It takes not even 5 minutes, and that is my ideal tasty, eggy, high protein breakfast. This is our main TV lounge, big couch for a big family. Yeah, huge big library over there. We have so many rebounders in the house because we're forever testing and trying different brands, different models, different shapes and sizes, so we are jumping on them often. Okay, life hack number, I don't even know what for today. Don't sweat the small stuff. Something that I've really had to let go of is the fact that there is clutter around the house. I used to be very, very meticulous about everything being in its place, and now, you know, there's stuff everywhere. There's arts tables and rebounders, and there's stuff all over our house, and I've just had to let it go and know that this is a family home. Everything is just everywhere, and that has really been a hard mind shift for me, but it has been a big lesson for me to let stuff go. My favorite space in our home is definitely this upstairs pajama lounge area. I do love the lighting. The fact that it's almost 360-degree windows just allows for a lot of natural lighting. So in one space, I can see the beginning and the end of every day. Seeing the sunset and the sunrise on both sides of the room is a really special, special place. Something that I really believe in strongly is movement throughout the course of the day. I think a lot of people go to the gym first thing in the morning or wait till their gym session at the end of the day, and that's their movement for that 30 to 60 minutes, and they think that, okay, box checked. But what they don't realize is that sitting behind your desk for the other 9, 10, 12 hours a day is really not healthy for your energy, your mood, your circulation, your lymphatic system. It's really important to move with little exercise snacks, I like to call them, throughout the day. So I think that's definitely another little wellness hack right there.
While as mom to young Bella, she keeps the regular kind of snacks coming too.
My favorite things I like to do with my mom is baking, Lego, and massages. What my mom does for a living is she rebounds, she works a lot, and she has meetings, and she spends time with me.
Lisa has invested in several gyms and gone online, but it's her rebounding business that has her career flying.
Bounty is a rebounding brand, so that's all things exercising on a mini trampoline. And we start with a warm-up, and we alternate between some dancey type tracks just to let all the stress go and to enjoy the movement and flow of our bodies. And then we do a nice cool down and stretch at the end. Lots of dancing, lots of fun, and great energy.
20 minutes of rebounding is equivalent to 60 minutes of running, and Lisa's husband Stafford Maisie is proof that it works.
Stafford, pre-Lisa, was overweight, not conscious of anything that I would put into my mouth, and not mindful of my wellness in any way or form. I was a busy executive professional that, was eating whatever came across my desk. What Lisa brought in was a pause to say, be more mindful, be more understanding of what you're putting into your body. What Lisa's made me very well aware of is what I do with my body, what I put on my body, and what I put inside my body. Those are 3 areas that she has not taught me, but through her living that life. She lives what she sells, and that's where the authenticity comes from.
Stafford and his daughters are both involved in the business, Amber as head of logistics and Bethany as copywriter.
Well, I'd say we obviously have a great relationship with our stepmom. She's a lovely person. It's really inspiring, working with her and being around her, because she very much embodies and lives the kind of ethos and the values that she speaks about when it comes to the business and, what she preaches about every day. So it's very inspiring to see both of our parents in the business, how they overcome certain challenges, or when things get a little bit tricky, how they work together. And it's been really incredible to be a part of it as well.
I would describe Lisa as optimistic. She's very hardworking.
Inspiring as always.
Yeah, inspiring.
Inspiring. If I had to choose, it would be inspiring and unintentionally hilarious. Because whenever Lisa's not trying, she's her funniest. She just does things and it cracks everybody up.
Yeah.
A family hack, I think, there's a couple of hacks. There's not just one hack, but I do think you need to introduce some type of structure. What we do is there's particular times in the week where we get together, and it's dinner time. And it's a time where phones get put away or phones are not focused on. We have to ensure that we don't bring work too much to the table. And that's always, I think that's the big challenge. But our hack is to ensure that you always have structure, you have a place, you have a routine where you meet and you find each other. But also to have individual relationships with your children and with your spouse. And if those things are healthy, then it's much easier to kind of get together and have these wholesome, engaging times.
Starting at home, Lisa has now taken her business into the UK, and it's being recognized as the future of well-being even further afield.
I've never deviated from my wellness mission. It's done this, as careers do, left and right and up and down, but it's always been health and wellness, and it's always been about trying to educate and empower people to live their best lives.
Next up, entrepreneur Uzzair Essack creates jobs and opportunity in the midst of so much uncertainty. Working with a host of South Africans who his business directly and indirectly employs is the reward which 30-year-old entrepreneur Uzzair Essack really cares for. And he's been at it since childhood.
There was nothing specific that prompted me to start my business. I was in business from the age of 7 years old, selling things to my peers at school. And each business, as I evolved too. And it just so happened that I landed up here today selling fruit. So a lot of people ask me, how did you start selling fruit? And I tell them I didn't just wake up one morning and decide to do it. It just kind of flowed into it, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
An eye for identifying and meeting new and growing demand from the Middle East to the UK has proven to be Uzzair's competitive edge.
So Ripe is a fruit and vegetable export company based in South Africa. We export fruit and veg from South Africa to 39 countries around the world. We are in peak butternut season for the South African season, so I came to check on all the butternut, make sure that it's ready for export, and that when it ends up in the retail markets in the UK, it's ready to be consumed by consumers and it's perfect for them.
As robotics and AI make the headlines, this entrepreneur still sees plenty of opportunity for employing people.
This pack house will receive butternut from all over the area. Once it's harvested, it's put on a truck and it's brought here. Butternut is usually graded in 2 grades, Class 1 and Processing grade. Class 1 means that it's generally sitting on the shelf in retail, it looks perfect, its internal quality is perfect, and it's something you and I would pick up in a supermarket. Processing grade means that the internal quality is still really good, but aesthetically it might be having a scratch or a dent or a bruise, and from there it gets cut into pieces or they make butternut chips out of it, and that's where the processing comes in.
Promoting exports, bringing in foreign currency and uplifting agricultural communities soon saw this young business leader gain recognition.
Being chosen as Forbes Africa 30 Under 30s list in 2020 was probably one of the biggest achievements or accomplishments I've ever gained. And it feels amazing. It means that all the hard work I've done is for something. And I hope to use a platform like that to inspire even more people and show anyone that it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, anything is achievable.
When importing rice didn't bring the desired returns, the bold entrepreneur pivoted to exports, and he displays the same kind of agility at work and play.
Paddle is my chosen sport because paddle is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. It's also super fun and super easy to learn. I've played it once, fell in love with it, and decided that I need to get better so I can beat all my friends, and that's why we're here with my coach today.
Joshua van Rensburg gave us a crash course in the basics of this blend of squash and tennis.
So the game is kind of simple, but at the same time, a little bit complicated if you're watching from the outside. More or less, you got your service blocks like tennis, but we avoid serving overhand, so we've got an underhand serve, and we've got the cage and the glass walls that we see around the court, which you can use for us, hopefully. Starting out, generally it's difficult to play off of the glass walls, but once you get the hang of it, you can actually use it to your advantage. There's a low barrier to entry, which means the first time you step on the court, you can already have a match going. But at the same time, there's so many levels to the game. So there's no point where we can stop progressing, stop improving, but anybody can get onto the court and have a good game. Whether you're even 5 or 6 years old or 85 or 86 years old, you can step onto the paddle court, you can get a game going. There's usually some good music playing, there's good things happening around the courts. It's just a great place to be overall.
At work, Uzzair competes by always thinking 10 steps ahead. But here, he's happy to just enjoy the game.
Sport is important for anyone, and especially for me, because 24/7 I'm thinking about business and all my successes and failures. With paddle, I get a few hours in a week to clear my mind, think in the moment, think in the now, and just enjoy myself without having all of that stress.
Which makes for a happy home life, together with his true love and soon-to-be qualified teacher, Samira Patel Essack.
Samira and I met when she slid into my DMs. No, I'm just joking. I slid into her DMs. The first message I sent to her was, "When can I marry you?"
I told him I'm too young. I was only 18 at the time.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
And so he told me, no worries, I'll text you back after 2 years. And then 2 years later, he sent me a message. And then, yeah, we started speaking again from there.
Uzzair's mission is to seek knowledge every day of his life, and he could not have found a more like-minded person to travel that road with him.
So I'm currently doing my teaching prac. I teach from the grades 4 to 7 and I'm graduating in June, and I plan on starting my teaching journey from next year. Uzzair encourages me by celebrating my small wins. He also gives the best advice. Just by watching him work hard to achieve his goals, encourages me to work hard to achieve my goals as well.
Long before they met, there were days when this maverick didn't have food to eat. So today, every meal is a celebration.
So today I'm cooking my famous Ricardo pasta. It's basically a tomato-based pasta with a bit of an Indian curry element to it. This pasta is special to Samira and I because it was the first meal I ever cooked her when she moved in with me after getting married. And I think she loved me just a little bit more after that.
As with his cooking, Uzzair's message to African entrepreneurs is to build your business bit by bit, allowing you to control any mistakes and keep going.
We'll then add in some sugar, some salt, and some fresh green chilies. Once that's done, we'll add some curry powder and some cream, and that's when it all comes together. Lastly, we'll add our pre-cooked pasta, and the dish is now complete. Super simple, super easy. Perfect for someone who's busy, on the go, and needs to cook for their wife.
To those who wonder how the great and enduring South African brands and family legacies began, this is as fine a working example as any.
So for my 30th birthday, I gifted myself this beautiful signet ring. My family doesn't have much history behind it, so I decided to make my own logo or symbol. It's got the E for Essack, and behind it we've got the ripe logo, which is why I am where I am.
More than recognition, this industry leader wants our South African youth to get involved in growing the agricultural industry.
I love South Africa, the culture, the people, the landscapes, and everything about it. We're all struggling at the moment. We know unemployment is at a record high. We know the economy is taking a hiding. We've got the Eskom problems. It's up to me as a young South African, as a youth of this country, to create jobs, to make everyone else's life easier, to give opportunities to people who are coming after me. I've just started diversifying my business portfolio a little bit recently, so besides for just the fruit exports, I've now gotten into courier, into coffee, and into property. My main entrepreneurial goals for my career is to reach a point where I don't have to ever worry about money. Most of my life I was stressed and worrying about money, so I wanted to reach a point where money is last and everything else is first.
When the couple do have children, the art of the perfect pasta sauce will be central to their education.
My next steps in life, I think, are making sure my business is run smoothly, making sure I find the important work-life balance because I don't want to burn out, and most importantly, growing my family with my beautiful wife, and then living happily ever after.
The Essacks aren't ones to wait for their ship to come in, and from what we've seen, their rewards will be South Africa's too. Right after this, Angelique Fredericks turns a health condition into a lifestyle career and finds her one true love.
Sponsored by Capitec.
Getting to plan their wedding together is the most fulfilling and unexpected reward for digital content creator Angelique Fredericks and videographer Ricardo Joao de Leca. It was business which brought them together, and that working relationship would either make or break them.
I got into social media about 5 or 6 years ago. I started practicing yoga because I have fibromyalgia. And so to manage pain, I would practice yoga because movement is my form of medicine. And the more I shared, I got such a great response from people who were following me, and my following grew, and my friends encouraged me. My family was so supportive. And then I felt more encouraged to pursue it, and that's what I did.
I started shooting for Angelique probably 3 months after meeting her, and I grew quite a bit in my videography skills as Angie is a super particular person and she gave me lots of practice hours. But yeah, we make amazing content together. It's nice.
We do, and I'm his most difficult client. So he loves working with everyone because he's like, oh, so easy. That was so easy.
Truth is, he'd fallen for her from the beginning.
I asked Angelique to marry me in Neisner. It was actually a very special day, like weather, everything was timed very well. And I planned it so that at the very sweet spot of sunset when the whole sky was orange is when I went on bended knee. And it was very special, very memorable.
It was, and just the way you planned everything, so particular, and the thought of it meant so much to me. And till this day, it's so weird, I still remember the sunset. And to me, like no other sunset, oh my word, it probably sounds so cliche, but no other sunset can compare to that day.
It really was.
So, the setting for their wedding must take it to the next level. And in this Winelands venue run by Jana Roos, they might have struck gold.
We are here today looking at a possible wedding venue. And it's looking really good. We are loving what we see.
I am passionate about giving all brides and grooms the perfect day. The chapel area is an open-air chapel, which you have the Toyscliff mountain range as your backdrop, and then you've got on the other side your view of Wellington and parts of Paarl, which is stunning.
And a resident wedding planner like Willem Oosthuizen, who knows the venue inside out, the seasons, and the wealth of local suppliers, removes a lot of the potential problem solving.
Ricardo and Angelique is very specific in regards to what they want. They want their simplistic black and white wedding, lots of candles, and small details like with the gold cutlery.
My first impression of the venue is the views. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. There's so much to work with here. And
the layout's good.
Beautiful. We've managed to save enough for our wedding by planning. So some months when I've had a little bit more, I would add more. When Ricardo has a little bit more, whatever we had, we would save. But we also took our period of our engagement to just enjoy our engagement and save accordingly.
What their wedding fund has done is channel their impulse spending towards a bigger reward.
In our banking app, we created another pocket called our wedding fund so that we can save all our money directly into that pocket. So it doesn't get mixed up with our everyday expenses, and so that everything is right there and that we can monitor everything very closely so that we are within, so that we are within our budget. In the event of an emergency, Ricardo and I do have the option of using our credit card and then replenishing back onto our credit card from our wedding fund so that we don't have to pay the interest, and that's a really good safety net to have.
Plus, if people do use their credit card, they only charge interest on the amount that's being loaned.
While the bride did study fashion design and has made her own outfits in the past, she's leaving her dress to the professionals.
Today we are at Blanco Bridal Couture because I'm about to buy my wedding dress and veil. I know many brides look for specific things in a wedding dress, but I'm waiting for that feeling of when I put on the right dress that fits me the exact right way. So more going about feelings than really styles, but it just needs to complement my bill.
As it happens, Bianca Skitter had her finger on the pulse of a silhouette which fits Angelique like a glove.
Current wedding dress trends is the corset bodice with the pleating. Thin straps always remains amazing on any wedding dress. Massive trend, anything with a veil and a pearl is an absolute stunner. Important for a bride before she starts shopping for her wedding dress is to first determine her budget. Brides do not always budget as much for the veil as they should. And also what brides do forget when budgeting for the wedding dress is alterations. There will always be something taken in, a strap that's too long, a hem that's too long, maybe the waist that's too big. Important to get that perfect fit for your wedding day.
Just the kind of moment her card was designed for.
Today I'll be paying for my wedding dress and my veil and reaping the rewards with my Capitec credit card. To utilize my credit card facility responsibly, I will be transferring money from my wedding fund onto my credit card and reap the rewards.
Naturally, the big reveal will have to wait.
I just got my wedding dress and I'm not showing you because it's a surprise, and I definitely can't wait for Ricardo to see me walking down the aisle and cry.
To work out the stress that comes with all these big decisions, Angelique might normally pour herself a bubble bath with candles, but having found her dress called for extra spoiling.
We never really get to treat ourselves, especially being entrepreneurs and self-employed. So we need to find time and make time to reward ourselves. Self-care is so important, and it's been a long time for us, right?
I think it's well-deserved. Well-deserved. A good break is well-deserved.
Rensha Droganis had something special in store.
Today's treatment is really special, and so I named it Nirvana because I thought going to that space of bliss, that's really what it's all about. But in order to reach that state, we need to work with the body and just release a lot of stress that we hold into the muscles, into the joints, but mostly in our energetic field. So our therapists were trained how to work with our chakra system, which is your energy centers in the body, to almost tap into them, unlock, and just release whatever the body is holding on that's not serving the person. So I think today is going to be a journey of absolute bliss for two people who's ready to just go into union.
Our wedding is definitely coming together very well, slowly at our own pace. But I think the most important thing to keep in mind when planning a wedding is that it's just one day, and that it's more about the commitment.
Yeah, and I think it's also important that this is the start of the journey. Like the wedding is signifying the start of the journey. There's so much more that needs to happen afterward, like building our life, starting our family eventually, and creating something that we can leave behind for our family. And I think it's best done in our own environment with our person, you know. So I'm looking forward to that.
Is there an event in your life which you're saving towards? Could you do with the benefits of a Capitec credit card for moments along the way when you might need it? Then start your journey with a chance of winning a R1,000 cash prize courtesy of Capitec. Simply reply to the competition post on the insidersa.co.za social media platforms using #LiveBetterWithCapitec. T's and C's apply and can be found on the Insider SA website. Just ahead, Diaan Daniels spreads his wings from fashion into real estate, and all while reinventing his body.
Say hello to the best digital bank in South Africa. With our app, you can pay quick with secure digital payments. Switch and live better with Capitec.
For renowned designer Diaan Daniels, reward comes with every blissfully happy bride, groom, personality, or private client who leaves this studio in one of his creations. Daily recognition that he's doing what he was born to do.
Well, welcome to my shop, Diaan Daniels Couture, where everything happens, all the magic, all the beautiful dresses. It all started for me as a little boy in Bloemfontein watching my grandma sew. So she was a big inspiration, and obviously my parents were so supportive. I just studied fashion. I didn't really finish because I was too busy making wedding dresses from the second year, and that's when my business started, 1998. And now I'm here 25 years later, and with the support of Top Billing that, I've been there right through the entire journey, from Louise Ubala to Kurt Darren to all those people that I've dressed. That made me who I am today, and also my own reality TV show.
What brings new clients to this studio rather than any other? Shop manager Angelique Fredericks gave us her take on the magic formula.
Diaan doesn't necessarily always follow trends. He goes with his own mind and his own designs. And the fact that he also likes doing different type of designs that not normally other shops would do. Like, he likes layering, and Diaan doesn't like to play it safe. Doesn't like to go with the all plain, boring type of designs. He likes to be exciting and add a lot of detail.
Hello, girls. I'm Diaan.
Hello, Chelsea.
Give me a hug. You look stunning, Chandelisha. But haven't you tried this one on? It's one of our 2024 also new collection. What inspires this look is obviously just opulence, drama. I think these days, lots of wedding dresses got so simple. And we want the drama back a little bit.
It's one day.
It is one day. I love the detail on it as well. Everything is imported, and the crystals, and also the silhouette is quite significant, and the color, it's not an off-white completely. There's a blush color.
I love the extra effects of the skirt. I think that makes the dress, and I wouldn't have thought about it until he suggested it. And I also like that it's still a timeless look, but it's trendy.
So, have I changed your mind?
Yes, you have. Yes to this dress.
As for the designer, over the better part of the last year, he has quietly been putting himself through a metamorphosis.
The reinvention came about because I was nearing my 25 years of being in the fashion industry. So I thought to myself, Diaan, what else can you do? Because I've achieved most of my dreams. And this is a lesson that I've really learned, is you have to dream actually bigger. Because once you've reached the dream, there is more to come. So what was next for Diaan Daniels, and what was next for me? And then I realized my lifestyle was a little bit unhealthy, and I started training, and my entire life has changed for 180 degrees. How I got into fitness, into my best friend, this one, that dragged me to gym out of bed. I saw how this one was built, and I was like, sure, I need to look like that. Was I at least good?
Challenging, but good. You did well. So basically every day a workout is completely different depending on the muscle group, but warming up is very important. The cardio mostly we do in the morning, ab exercises after. It took Diaan roughly 8 months to look like this. A bit shorter, but it's been 8 months now that we've been training together.
Yeah, 8 full months, and no one has seen my transformation. This is the first time. I shaved my hair, new body, but it's hard work, guys, but it's a lifestyle. The benefits of gymming and living a much more healthier lifestyle is like you feel better, like not just physically, but also emotionally and mentally. And then it gives you energy and there's a new passion in life. It almost feels like after 25 years, I'm celebrating my fashion, but it's almost like I've got a second chance in life, and I love it. Because at 44, there's still hope for everyone.
Diaan began his couture career from home, and things have come full circle, with that success now being invested in a real estate venture.
The fashion design background has prepared me for real estate in the sense that I've been my own boss for 25 years. And when you are in real estate and you're a property consultant, as we are, you actually work for yourself. You don't work for someone else. Just as important as a wedding dress is, I'm the go-to person, so is selling your house. And remember, we are not talking small change. When you are selling your house, you're putting all your confidence in me as a property consultant. So the two gel together very well. Real estate has always been in my blood. My father is a real estate agent. He's been a builder contractor for many years. I've renovated my house. So I've become to love the industry as well as fashion. And I also think it's time in my life, especially in my 40s, to create wealth for myself, and that you can really do through real estate and still have the passion to do fashion as well. So I can do both because I've got wonderful support.
To thank those who have been there for him, Diaan asked Saskia Weideman to set the scene for a celebration.
The brief was from Diaan to take inspiration from the current Pantone of the year, Viva Magenta, and also to take inspiration from nature around us with complementary colors that's also in season.
The whole thing for the food and for the table today was abundance, a lot of food, colors, beautiful, that you want to grab it and you want to eat it. Fresh stuff, fruit, things you can grab with your hand and eat, and just make it very easy to stand in a party and talk with people and just have your little wine or champagne and have a nice bite.
Having been part of the rise and rise of his fashion career, friends weren't about to miss the next chapter.
I am amazed of what the decor people and my friend did with the food, and all my friends came out and people from the office and my clients and Brunette. She looks so amazing in the dress.
A designer who dares to be different always appealed to reality TV star Brunette Siopela.
What do I love about this particular dress? Every single thing. I would like to call myself a fashionista, and I know somebody who's good at what they do, and Diaan has dressed me for years, and trust me, if somebody dresses me and I'll keep going back to them, you must know that person is very good.
It was a night on which the designer was the star, and news anchor Lynette Purin had the story.
The fact that Diaan has been in this industry for 25 years, and you can literally see how he's grown and how he has evolved. Not only his physical transformation, but now he's a whole different person for a whole different chapter. But it all culminates in he knows who he is, he's happily married, and that's a new adventure for him as well.
It just blows my mind what he does and what he pulls out of his suit. As a husband, I feel very honored to be standing next to him and to be here in his life right now.
Well, we recently eloped, and we were just sitting on the couch one night and watching an Instagram video. And then there was this guy and this girl, and they were sitting at a famous burger place, and they just said, "We got married." And I showed him the video, and he's like, "Okay, let's do that." And in a few days, we did that. We got married, and then we saw a carnival, and we went on a carnival ride, and that was our wedding because it was special for us. I hope for my next 25 years to still have a passion of going forward, still doing this, having new dreams every single day, because I don't want ever to look back and regret something in my life. I would rather take the risk and learn a lesson than not take the risk.
True to his word, Diaan's new dream is to launch his ready-to-wear wedding gown collection in boutiques worldwide. Coming up, in a time where our nation needs a champion, Kaine Fourie steps into the ring for family and country.
Sponsored by Capitec.
Personally motivated by his dad, Kobus Fourie, also a boxer, and professionally inspired by legendary champion Manny Pacquiao, there is a new name fast gaining recognition in South African boxing.
Hey guys, I'm Kaine Fourie, current reigning Gauteng lightweight champ. Welcome to my gym. We're here at the Pound for Pound boxing gym in Fourways. I'm here every single day from Monday to Saturday. Once I step through the door, I know it's always hard work and dedication, and this is where all the magic happens. In the mornings, we do like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour session, depending on what your coach wants from you. Then afternoon you still have to go do your road work. It's like an hour, hour and a half, depending on how far you have to run for the day. And night sessions we do strength and conditioning, also hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how you feel, how your body feels, and what your coach says as well. So normally 3 times a day, probably you're looking around 5 to 6 hours a day of just training.
By the time Kaine opted for a boxing career over finishing school, his trainer Gert Strydom already knew he was a contender.
His father brought him to my gym at the age of 16 years old. I ran a program called Boys to Men. It was for young boys from all backgrounds that came on a boxing program. And from the beginning, I identified him as one of the boys that's got the talent to go further than just amateur boxing. And that's where we are today. All he wanted to do was fight professional, and we decided to turn him professional. Unfortunately or fortunately, COVID happened at the same time, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise because that gave us 2 years to work and just to mature a bit and to get himself to another level, which he did. The kid has got all the tools to make it big one day and to become a legitimate world champion.
My biggest achievement so far, it was last year, 2022, on my dad's birthday, 19 June, fighting for the Gauteng title for a 10-rounder, and I knocked the Gauteng lightweight champ out. That was the current reigning champion for 4 years. And I knocked him out in the 4th round on my dad's birthday, so it was a nice birthday for him. And also I main evented that fight, so also for a kid that's only 20 years of age fighting for a title, main event is a good achievement for myself.
A morning's go-karting revealed that Kaine's older brother Kyle is fully behind his boxing career. But in everything else, they compete like tigers.
Hey man,
Hi,
nice
gents,
to meet
how are you guys?
Man, you good?
Good, good.
It's our first time here for the go-karting. I just want to show my brother who's the real boss in driving, so can you take us through the safety?
So in the beginning, you guys, just the first lap, you guys need to go slowly to get used to everything. You know, don't want to go 120 kilometers straight up. Got to go slowly in the beginning, go around the corner slowly. After the first few laps, you'll be flying around the track.
So before we run this through, I just want to know, how do I beat you?
You guys watch Formula One, right? So you know how the cars go out wide and then come in. So it's very similar out here. When you approach a corner, you want to go out very wide and then come in very tight around the corner. So almost like a snake or big S. There's a few lights around the track that you must worry about. So the bottom is the green for go, then it goes to yellow. So we put on the yellow light when there's been a crash. You just need to slow down, just like a safety car in Formula One, just got to slow down. When the light's on red, it means it's either the end of the race or that there's been a big crash. So you just need to slow down completely. There's also a blue light at the end of that straight. So the blue light indicates that an overtake needs to happen. So who's going to be overtaking who?
Me.
Kaine might excel in rugby, athletics, and any aerobic sport, but the racetrack would be the equalizer.
Who's going to win between me and my brother? There's only one person, it's me.
That these two are best friends is tested on a daily basis, and there are no go-karts required to get them started.
We were competitive since we were lighties. If it wasn't on the rugby field, it was on the cricket fields. And if it wasn't on the cricket field, we always used to challenge each other at chess or whatever it may be. I mean, even a wrestling match in the living room, wherever, however, we were always competitive. As an older brother, I think I should be the one that motivates him and supports him. But as a younger brother, he supported me in so many ways, and he's a best friend that I can always count on. And the way he's motivated me to be a better brother is the way he's been so consistent within his career. He doesn't miss training, he doesn't miss anything. He's so disciplined and so consistent, and I think that's the key to being a world champ one day.
Pretty words, but there was no room for sentiment as the brothers Fourie fought for bragging rights on the racing circuits of the Highveld.
So as you know, they say stats don't lie, and the stat says that I did beat you. At the end of the day, it's the youngest brother's job to let the older brother win. Yeah, well, it's actually the other way around, but I think the debate is settled. Hamilton is definitely better than Max.
If one of them had conceded, it wasn't at all clear from the body language. This rivalry is a daily reality for the mother of these two, Mrs. Kaine Fourie, the woman who all three men under this roof agree is the glue who holds the family together.
Welcome to my home. This is my mom. I hope she's preparing us nice lunch for today. We had a busy day today with training and go-karting as well.
I've prepared chicken wraps, which is Kaine's second favourite dish, but some of the ingredients that's in there he does not enjoy, like the cabbage that I put in, but he's got no choice, he's forced to eat those things.
Diet for a boxer is very important. You need to have your vegetables and your salads because you're cutting 8 Ks for a fight. So to be healthy and be on a diet plan is very good for a boxer. You need it because you need to fight, you need to earn your money, and if you don't make weight, you're not going to have a fight. So yeah, the diet is very important for a boxer.
As is faith to the young champion, who has no doubt that anything is possible through his belief, and the evidence seems to bear that out.
So let me show you a bit of my memorabilia, my achievements I've made so far from the boxing. This is before I turned pro. It was the Southern Giants amateur tournament. It's only held once a year. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest tournaments in South Africa. And I won this tournament and also won best fighter of the tournament. We have 2 big fights here. The Zulu King was there as well that night. And also I fought the welterweight KZN champ there as well. It was a tough fight, good fight, but I knocked him out also in the 4th round. And as we come here, it's my first main event title bout that I had with Kaya Busakwe. He was 4 years undefeated with the Gauteng title. I came in the underdog, but I knew I was going to get on top with my hard work. And came round 3 and I knocked him out.
Their fighting prowess aside, the greats are often remembered for their boxing trunks, and Kaine already stands out for his.
So coming here, we have my boxing kits. As you can see, the blue one was my first boxing fight, but my favorite one is my most recent one that I fought in my title with. My Kaine one, it's a pink one, pink and white. It's my favorite colors as a boxer as well, so I like pink and white. Currently working on my new one as well for my next fight coming up. There's some medals here as well. The 2 boxing ones, I won the one guy in 20-30 seconds, I knocked him out. Other one I won on points. And as you can see here, I have the 7th rugby one. I played for a year above and I scored the winning try there as well for the finals, and we won the finals at Kira Aurora. Anything I put my mind to, I just do it full out. I know if I can do something, I'll make it work for me.
The champ's parents are a huge part of his career. They've both stood behind him pursuing this dream, and as a professional boxer himself, Kaine Fourie knows what it takes.
As a kid, he was always active, playing with a ball, rugby, athletics.
And since baby time, we knew that he was going to be good in some sport, but we just didn't know what sport he was going to be good in. When Kaine started boxing, I was very, very scared because of the punches, and I didn't know how he was going to adapt to boxing. As he progressed, I'm okay with it now.
As a family, we support Kaine a lot. We sponsor him with gear, we go watch him box, and it's lekker to do it.
We want to see Kaine in the future as a world champion, and if God's will, a unified world champion.
We have a big title match lineup as well for the 1st of April. They postponed the fight, and also not for WBF anymore, for WBA Pan Africa title. So it's much bigger, much better, and I can't wait for the 1st of April.
South Africa is starting to recognize what we have in Kaine Fourie, and may the world soon know that name too. Join us again next week as we celebrate our Rainbow Nation with Miss South Africa 2022 runner-up Ayanda Tabete as she prepares for the Miss Supernatural competition.
Another feel-good production.